how hemp is helping farmers and it's attracting young entrepreneurs to the state.
So you love going to concerts on the Bangor waterfront. Well, you're in luck. You'll be happy to learn you'll be able to do that for years to come. We'll tell you about a new deal coming up. This is News Center Now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Lee Nelson. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. You know, over the last few months, we have been talking a lot about PFAS chemicals at the former Pease Air Force Base, and we have an update this evening.
Yeah, PFAS chemicals are man-made toxins that have been used in a number of products for decades because of their ability to repel oil and water. But those same chemicals are now being found in drinking water and food across the country, and they can lead to serious health problems. News Center's Samantha York is live at the former Air Force Base in New Hampshire tonight to tell us about a new water treatment facility that was unveiled today looking to help eliminate these chemicals. Hey, Sam.
Yeah, Lee and Lindsay, PFAS chemicals were found in the water here at the base a few years ago, and ever since then, state officials and health experts have been working together to prevent them from spreading any further. That water treatment facility is right in this building behind me, and they say it's going to be a complete game changer. With a quick snip, the newest addition at the former Pease Air Force Base is ready to get to work.
I would call it significant, and then it's a milestone.
This tower of piping is just one step officials and health experts in New Hampshire are taking to remove PFAS chemicals from the area's drinking water. These forever chemicals have been used in things like firefighting foam or nonstick containers for decades and are known to cause serious health concerns.
It's very persistent, so once it gets on the ground, it stays in the ground, and if it gets into the groundwater, it stays in the groundwater until we do something to clean it out.
Which is exactly what this groundwater treatment plant is aiming to do. So, how does it work? The filtration system is connected to 6 different wells in the area. Water is collected and pumped through. Once it hits these granular carbon vessels, the magic really happens.
What that does is it removes any organics that might be in the water and also removes, incidentally, some of the PFAS and PFOA as well.
The water is then carried through a series of pipes and mixed with other chemical clinging materials like ion exchange resin, and eventually meets its last stop before being pumped back to the wells, PFAS free.
The idea is the second one is really an insurance policy, so when we see that we're getting PFAS coming out of the first vessel, we know it's still being treated by the second vessel.
While the system will only clean a small area, officials say it's a big step in the right direction, and they hope it sparks change not just here in New Hampshire, but around the country.
It's more than just Air Force bases. It's really a national problem. It's going to take a more comprehensive, whole of government type of solution to get after this and get it back out of our environment.
Now, those behind this water filtration system tell me that it can process 700 gallons of water in 1 minute. And Pease Air Force, the former Pease Air Force Base, I should say, is one of 190 other sites around the country that experts are keeping their eye on, and that number could grow in the future. Guys, back to you.
All righty, Sam, thank you very much.
All right, by way of Snap Maps and Snapchat, we're going to check on some serious tornado damage. The National Weather Service confirming a tornado touchdown in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts today. That's located on Cape Cod. Here's a look at what people were posting in real time on Snapchat through Snap Maps. A 90-mile-per-hour gust of wind was reported in Hyannis, which is nearby, just after noon. Residents were urged to take cover immediately, meaning they should move to the basement or an inside room on the lowest floor of a building. Obviously, you don't want to be outside because you could be hit by flying debris. Amazing images there. My parents are actually in West Yarmouth.
Okay.
And they're sending some video and images as well.
Okay, good.
Luckily for them, just some trees down. Nothing that's not manageable.
Okay, good.
But pretty
Good.
scary when we have a tornado touchdown in New England.
Yeah, it is. And I know it happens, but they're usually not, you know, super big and powerful ones, I guess. Here's Keith to talk maybe about that, but certainly about our forecast as well. Hey, Keith.
Yeah, guys, it'll be interesting. It's probably in EF1. it could be a low-end EF2, but it gives you a lot of perspective when you look at the planes that have EF4s and 5s, the damage even the low-end tornadoes can do. So luckily none of that here, just rain, plain rain, and we had some clearing in between, a couple of showers coming out of Canada, but they're drying up rapidly here, so I don't think most of these will even get into the state. If we look at the satellite, you can see that area of clearing over the central part of the state. It's funny, the coastline cleared out and then went back into some of the cloud cover, and we'll deal with clouds tonight and tomorrow along the coast as well. It'll be better to be inland and northwest throughout the next, say, 24 hours or so. Temperature's pretty flat where it's been cloudy in the 60s, but where we've seen sun, we pushed into the mid and upper 70s from Turner over to Paris, the upper 70s there. And then same deal, Dover Foxcroft sitting at almost 80 degrees, meanwhile only in the upper 60s in a place like Bar Harbor still socked in. So the cloud cover along the coast is a theme tonight and through the first half of the day tomorrow. Notice by tomorrow morning we see a lot of clouds, but then move them out by, say, midday or so. After that, we look partly cloudy through the rest of Wednesday to mostly sunny. Upper 70s, low 80s. And as we've talked about, guys, once we get around the corner with the clouds tomorrow morning, we're going to rip off a stretch from Wednesday afternoon to Sunday at least of nice weather. So another nice weekend. Amazing.
Bring it on.
We'll take it.
Bring it on. We will. We'll talk to you again, Keith, too. Thanks. All right, time to check some headlines for this Tuesday. The Justice Department has told former special counsel Robert Mueller not to stray beyond his report on Russian election interference when he testifies to Congress tomorrow. The department says Mueller should not speak about any redacted material from that report, especially not material pertaining to pending criminal prosecutions, uncharged third parties, and executive privilege, such as presidential communications privileges. And when Mueller testifies, he'll be accompanied by his deputy, Aaron Zebley, who will be there apparently to advise Mueller but not to testify himself.
The Trump administration is proposing to tighten automatic eligibility requirements for the food stamp program. The Agriculture Department says the change could cut benefits for about 3.1 million people. The agency says the rule would close a loophole that enables people receiving only minimal benefits from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program to be eligible automatically for food stamps.
The Pentagon has a new leader. The Senate today overwhelmingly confirmed Army veteran and former defense industry lobbyist Mark Esper as the Secretary of Defense. Esper won Senate confirmation by a vote of 90-8. And this ends a 7-month stretch without a permanent leader there. The last full Secretary of Defense was Jim Mattis, and of course he stepped down way back on New Year's Eve.
The Senate has given its final legislative approval to a bill that ensures the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund never runs out of money. The 97-2 vote sends the bill to President Donald Trump, who is expected to sign it. The Senate easily defeated the amendments proposed by GOP Senators Mike Lee of Utah and Rand Paul of Kentucky. Democratic Senator Kristen Gillibrand of New York said 9/11 first responders and their families have had, quote, enough of political games. The bill would extend through 2092, a fund created after the 2001 terrorist attacks, essentially making it permanent.
All right, we're going to squeeze in a break here. Parents, listen up. Facebook is warning people about a problem in its Messenger Kids app.
Interesting. It's still a fairly new crop for Maine farmers that they're growing hemp, and it's drawing young people to move and start their businesses here.
State officials are now saying about 80 animals had to be seized from a property in Somerset County. They say animal welfare agents went to a home in Solon to execute a search warrant. They concluded the animals needed urgent care.
The animal welfare program took dogs, cats, chickens, and horses to an emergency shelter. More information on this story straight ahead on News Center Maine at 5:30.
Facebook has an alert for parents about a flaw in its Messenger Kids app.
The company says it has recently notified parents about a technical error that allowed children to join group chats with friends of friends who hadn't been approved by the parents. Facebook says it has since turned off that affected group chat thing and provided parents with additional resources about Messenger Kids and internet safety, but it's unclear how long the flaw was active. Messenger Kids is a free app offering what Facebook calls a controlled environment for children under the age of 13.
When it works properly.
Right, exactly. Amazon is expanding its key service to certain Hondas and Acuras.
Yeah, now this key service is the program in which certain shippers can unlock your car or your house or your garage and deliver a package, okay? So Prime subscribers with compatible Honda Link and Acura Link remotes can opt to have their packages delivered securely inside their vehicles. It's as simple as parking your car within a couple of blocks of the selected delivery address. The delivery driver finds the car using a GPS, identifies your vehicle, and requests that the vehicle be unlocked. Customers are notified once their package is waiting inside that vehicle and the vehicle is re-locked.
But can they deliver it while we're driving?
That's next. That's a year from now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who knows? Hey, so what is the most popular type of reward program for credit cards? It is cashback.
I'm not surprised by that.
No.
According to creditcards.com, 49% of adults have at least one cashback credit card. That's up from 43% last year. At least 88% of cashback card holders redeemed rewards at least once last year. However, gas and retail card rewards were redeemed most frequently. Experts say transferable travel rewards are the most valuable, but it takes time and effort to maximize those, which turns some people away. Meanwhile, cashback cards are quick and easy. All right, coming up, waterfront concerts and the city of Bangor have reached a new deal, keeping the pair together for quite a while.
Yeah, a really long time, actually. And we know the deal with Keith's whiteboard, tons of sass. His forecast is next. So the signing of the Farm Bill last year allowed hemp to be grown in Maine, and now farmers are really seizing this opportunity.
Yeah, the new crop is seen as a way to revitalize Maine's farming industry, and it's giving young people, young entrepreneurs who have a green thumb, the green light to live and work here.
The most beneficial part of all is just hearing how much it's helped people.
Naila Huholt says CBD has helped her too, specifically with symptoms from psoriasis and Lyme disease.
Realized, the best way to get access to that medicine is to grow it yourself.
So she and her partner did. They moved to Maine from out of state, bought an acre of land in Parsonsfield, and started growing hemp. Huholt, equipped with vital agricultural knowledge as an 8th-generation farmer.
Last year was our first year growing hemp through the state of Maine, and it was a very successful crop.
From there, their business bloomed. Rooted Heart Remedies. They make and sell CBD products like oils and creams from their farm. Huholt is one of nearly 170 hemp farmers licensed in the state. Grow sites span the entire state. With the popularity of CBD products, farmers see this as a way to make modern-day farming sustainable. But for Huholt, it was about more than embarking on a business opportunity. She was drawn to Maine, a state with strong agricultural ties, but also for her, it was about creating a product she believes in.
I've always been into herbal medicine, but nothing has, within a week, showed me like, wow, I'm feeling better. It's more about like, it creates this feeling inside that there is hope for healing.
And hemp, by the way, is different from marijuana because it contains a very small amount of THC, 0.3%. That's how they define that.
All right, interesting. All right, let's talk about the weather. Keith is here. It has been a slow fix, but it's fixing out there, Keith.
Yeah, and like I said before, I wasn't minding a day of rain because it feels like we've been on such a stretch. Do you ever get like good weather guilt because our season's so good?
Yes.
If you have something you have to do inside.
Oh, I see what you're
But
saying.
you're like, no, but I don't want to do it today.
You have to be outside.
Yeah, like it's good to have a day or two where you're like, okay, well, I'm not missing anything.
I use the rain as an excuse not to exercise and to indulge in comfort food.
You don't think being heavily pregnant is a reason you don't have to? You could do both of those things. I think it's
nothing to do with it.
It's probably fine. All right, here's a look at the radar. There's the last of the rain that's moved away pretty quickly off to the north and east. A couple of showers have popped up in the Champlain Valley of Vermont, but they're not really making their way downhill, if you will. Guys, I don't have my uplight. I knew I was looking whack, and I was like, do I look better now?
Dark and ominous.
You look fabulous.
All right, it's looking better. It's only so much you can do, but you do everything you can. All right, those showers probably won't make it. We do have some clearing in the middle part of the state. And it's interesting, if you take kind of a webcam tour around the state, Mount Katahdin. It's a beautiful day. It's been sunny there most of the day, but then you go down into Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Kittery line, and you've got a lot of low cloudiness. So it's been coastal that it's been cloudy, but as you head inland and certainly foothills and mountains, it's been a nice sunny day. Temperatures kind of bear that out, where it's warmer, where we've seen some sun, and it's cooler along the coast in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Overnight tonight is partly cloudy to start, ends up cloudy though, pretty much statewide by 2-3 in the morning. We start with clouds in the morning along the coastline. We should be able to get those offshore. Midday I'm giving as the latest. It could be really more like late morning. And then the rest of the day is partly cloudy, temperatures around 80 degrees, and we launch into a really nice pattern with more sunshine on Thursday. Friday also looks spectacular. Those 2 days, Thursday and Friday, I think will please a lot of people because they're sunny and they're not overly hot. They're right around 80 degrees, all courtesy of this ridge of high pressure moving in from the west. And once that settles in, we're in good shape straight through the weekend. Gradually, though, kind of creeping up here, Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday I put in the middle just because we might have a few more clouds around. Then we should be able to get to 90 in a lot of spots on Monday and back down here on Tuesday. So running above average, but not, hugely so, if you will, through the next 7 days. So it's a good stretch of weather. And then even Monday, I put a thunderstorm in the afternoon. A lot of us will be dry, but just, when you've got 5 days without rain, you get kind of cute on the 5th day as far as what constitutes a rain chance. Showers and thunderstorms more likely on Tuesday of next week, and the mid-range signals seem to keep us at and above average, into early August. So a good stretch and a good recovery from what looked like it would be a questionable summer early on.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
I do.
Very questionable. He had faith.
Yes, he did.
Thanks, Keith. An 8-1 vote by Bangor City Council will extend the city's lease with waterfront concerts.
Yeah, our Jackie Mundry is live at Darling's Waterfront Pavilion right now in Bangor to tell us all about this new deal. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Lee and Lindsay, fans are lining up and filtering through as we speak to get ready to watch Heart, Sheryl Crow, and Elle King tonight. And fans are going to continue to line up on the waterfront for at least 13 years after the Bangor City Council has approved a vote to extend their lease with waterfront concerts. And that approval comes with a $7 million price tag worth of renovations.
Renovations they're planning.
So we've reported already that they're working on bathrooms, and those bathrooms are set to be open and available for Thursday night's Chris Stapleton concert, and that's just the first phase of the bathrooms. There's going to be 3 buildings total, but the first one will be opening on Thursday. They're also working to make the venue as handicap accessible as possible, so no one has a problem coming to enjoy a show here on the waterfront.
And there's also got to be some benefit for the city as well, renewing this contract.
Yeah, so when the city holds events here on the waterfront, which they do often, like the American Folk Festival, the Waterfront Concerts has agreed to open up its facility so people enjoying the waterfront for other city events are able to use the new bathrooms that they're unveiling. And of course, it brings in business. Just when Blink-182 was in town about a week and a half ago, they used 55 hotel rooms in the city to just house their staff. So it definitely brings the business to Bangor.
Yeah, you can't underestimate the importance of bathrooms, good bathrooms,
At
Jackie.
an event especially.
Thank you very much.
Well, this week marks 1 year until the start of the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Olympic organizers say the Olympic Stadium is more than 90% ready. Athletes from more than 200 countries will compete in more than 330 medal events next year. So to celebrate, we took a photo with these special Olympic fans. We could have used them this weekend. We are ready to go for all things Olympics. Make sure to tune in to News Center Maine. Well, the stars and the stats align for the Houston Astros Apollo 11 celebration.
Yeah. Neil Armstrong's son, Rick, took to the mound for the team's observance of the moon landing's 50th anniversary last night. He threw out the first ceremonial pitch against the Oakland A's. The Astro players were all wearing caps featuring the Apollo 11 insignia, and the number 11 popped up quite a bit in this game, too.
Sure did. The Astros scored their 11th run on their 11th hit of the game, and they won 11-1. Plus, is it Jordan? Jordan,
yeah.
Jordan Alvarez hit his 11th homer of the season, and pitcher Garrett Cole racked up 11 strikeouts and earned his 11th win this year. And that story took 11 minutes to tell.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Exaggeration. All right, this next video is a good reminder that there are plenty of obstacles we can overcome with a little hard work. This is Tim, and he just doesn't quit. As you can see, he doesn't have any arms. He fails a few times trying to land a 20-inch box jump, but eventually he sticks it and overcomes his fear of self-doubt. The support from his trainers is contagious as well. Definitely worth watching a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. All right, let's turn things over to Cindy, see what's coming up in the next half hour. Hi, Cindy.
Hey, guys. There is a big meeting getting ready to start at Portland City Hall. The council is trying to help its staff really get up to speed on all of the programs that they can direct the asylum seekers to. But that's a really big learning curve because there's a lot involved. Cameron O'Brien is there live for us. And blueberries under siege. The tariffs imposed by China in retaliation for the tariffs President Trump put on Chinese goods is really hitting Maine farmers hard. We're going to take a look at some numbers that might just make you blue. It's all ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. Sounds good.
We'll see you guys at 5:30. We're back with Braindrops after this.
All right. Today's Braindrops was sent to us by Dana, who's our managing editor in Bangor. So appreciate that. I love to get good ideas. Percentage of forest cover by state. So it's exactly what it sounds like. What are the top states for that? We've got Alabama, Vermont, West Virginia, New Hampshire, and number one is Maine, coming in at 89.5%.
I wish you guys could have seen Liam roll over.
He was ready to go.
With the air horn out.
89.5%. So it's interesting to me. Maine doesn't surprise me they'd be in the top 5. Alabama surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, that is surprising.
But you need forest cover and you need a relatively low population, right? So you need both of those things to be in place.
Sure.
All right, and our lowest ones, where do you think those are going to be? Oh, shoot. It's fast.
I love when I don't
It's
have to
fast.
guess.
So the northern plains and the plain states in general, obviously you don't have much population here, but naturally you've got a lot of plains out there, we've got a lot of farms out there, so you don't have much forest cover.
I'm surprised Illinois is not in there.
Illinois is pretty dense, but there's a lot of population there too. And think about Oregon is one that I would have thought would be in the top 5, but it wasn't. So Maine is the most forested state as a percentage, and so that's why a lot of people who live here love the outdoors, and it makes sense for them to be there. West Virginia is also an interesting one.
Yeah,
I guess I
would
wouldn't
not
have guessed
expect
a couple of these. Like this I all get.
Sure.
But Vermont seems very foresty to me.
Where's Alaska on this?
I don't know. They don't count.
They don't count. Okay.
There are parts of Alaska that are pretty cold and don't have as much force. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You get to use the air horn as well.
Exactly. That does it for us. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.